Boom. All right. Semester 2, week number 8. It's the first week of classes during Ramadan. So a fella is fasting and will be real hungry soon. This week is packed. We've got preventative medicine exam today in about 2 hours. And then we have Neuro Practical on Wednesday and Neuro Medicine exam on Thursday. So the week is packed, and we just had our farm exam on Friday, so not a ton of study went on because we have a SOAP note, which is basically like a small, short note of sorts that you write up for a patient that's not the first time patient. So documentation essentially. I did that over the weekend. Studied a bit over the weekend of Prev Med more so. Last night I actually did a little bit of neuromedicine, so we're kind of on it. But really needed a break from pharmacology. Holy crap, that was quite the exam, and quite the studying for that exam. Needed that badly. It feels much better, feels safer. For a second, when I first messed up on that exam, I was thinking like, damn, I'm a failure. Do I belong? You know what I mean? Like that imposter syndrome was starting to kick in like nearly immediately. But doing the videos and reevaluating myself gave me better perspective. And now passing that exam with a fairly decent grade feels much better. Prev Med pre-exam. Preventative medicine is not a lot to really, I guess, I don't know slash study for or do. Like, I don't know, it's a lot of preventative medication, or not even medication, medicine, like, I don't know, acupuncture kind of things, other scopes of like, does it work, does it not work kind of thing, nutrition, which is very important actually, and then vaccines, and I don't know how you can really study for this. It's kind of difficult. It's kind of not exactly common sense, but to a degree, like common medical sense. So I guess I'll be on my way to school, and I guess we'll see how the week goes. All right, I guess we'll see. I just took a piss in the dark because I couldn't be bothered to figure out where the lights were. Now, how do you think I feel about that exam? Fortunately, I passed at the very least, but marginally. It sucks because this class is supposed to be a grade boosting class, and it still will be. No worries. I'm not terribly upset. I'm just moderately upset. And I mean, the information and the questions they ask, I don't even know if you could study for it. Preventative medicine is very important. We just have so many other like courses that we need to focus and emphasize on because those exams are just much harder and they're worth more. That there's a kind of a prevalence for that. Today's grade wasn't stellar. It is what it is, if you will. It is what it is. This is pre-practical. I've been running through it with my script. Last practical of the semester, apparently. So that should be real nice. But damn, sometimes it just feels like not enough time. This one I feel somehow the most unprepared for. Not even somehow, understandably understandably how. So I guess we'll see how it goes. We've got to go through a mental status exam, which is an entire script we just have to basically read out just for the mental status. The way that I have it remembered or as MCDSS. We got test motor function, cerebellar function, more like balance and stuff. Deep tendon reflex, that's a classic, bonk. And then sensory function and special test. That's why I've got them remembered, but I feel like I'm definitely going to just forget some small things or like choke up or something. Usually I have more time to like practice, but I mean, I've been reading it over and going over. When I did musculoskeletal, it's just like head to toe, right? This is not necessarily head to toe, It just feels like I can easily forget something. So I guess we'll see. And honestly, it really depends on who's grading you too. Sometimes, because sometimes some people are a little bit more lenient, others are a little bit more strict. I feel so tired too, though. I what's it called? Woke up to basically eat a version of breakfast, and begin my fast at like 4:30 in the a.m. Ate up, and then we stopped eating at around 5. And then right before I guess time, I had a caffeine pill. Now I just closed my eyes for a little bit, so I don't know, just so kind of wake up again. Went to sleep pretty late, like 12:30. Yeah, it's not it. Like I got like 3 hours of sleep. But that caffeine pill is really holding me up because waking up the second time, gradually and slowly was kind of easier because I guess I have caffeine coursing through me. It doesn't feel like super jittery. I know why I did sound effects, but and I feel like I've woken up after a good night's sleep, like kind of naturally. I don't necessarily have the body tiredness. I don't have the body explosiveness or I guess energy either. I'm like riding on a low level of okay. You know what I mean? Just like I'm okay. I feel all right for today's practical at the very least. So I guess we'll see how it goes. All right, post exam, we'll see. Post exam or post practical. The time crunch was absurd. I think 15 minutes left. I had like half the exam to still go through. Oh man, it's so rushed, so crammed. I missed so many little details. Like the special tests were like for alcoholism, for Parkinson's, and for meningitis. They gave me an alcoholic patient, but the case was supposed to present more like meningitis because of the fever. Call me an idiot, but I thought like I didn't think they would give us like two situations or like lean us one way and then kind of like Euro step us the other. You know what I mean? Like I guess it was like more meningitis, and I retook the dude's fever temperature. I just forgot that this the time crunch really messed me up. You know what I mean? Time crunch threw me off crazy. This week just feels bad. Like nothing is landing, everything is flopping. I didn't get my results back, but it can't be good. It can't be great. I'd just be fortunate. I think at the very least, I think I passed. But come on, man. I need stellar grades, stellar. This week is just feeling tough. First Monday's exam, now today's exam, and then tomorrow. Like, do it. It just sucks. Like, it doesn't make sense to do mediocre on everything. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Like, if I did mediocre on the Monday's exam, I should have been doing valid on today's, or I should be doing even better on tomorrow's. And like, that's kind of what I accounted for. I do like all right or mediocre on the first, and I didn't even think I do as bad as I did on the first. And now I was supposed to do like great on this one and tomorrow's. And now I have basically today, which is 9 o'clock up till, so basically 24 hours to cram all of medicine neuro, essentially. I went over a lot already though, like read over it. Now to like really memorize it and like I don't know, pick it apart almost. Just last week I was elated from doing so much better on one of my hardest course, farm, just for me to fumble. I guess we'll see. Pre-neuro exam. I just want to crash out, honestly. Just this week has not been the greatest week for me. I haven't been sleeping a whole lot, and honestly, what's the word? In the most self-destructive means possible. I was starting to get the hang of the neuromedicine stuff, and it's honestly starting to kind of all click together. The moment that happened, distracted and went to go do some other stuff. And I went to go play some video games for a couple hours. After yesterday's shenanigans and my performance on that practical, I still don't know my grade by the way. It just felt kind of bad. I just want to crash out so bad, because like nothing's going my way. You know what I mean? And it just sucks. But I'm here 2 hours early, wrap up my studying. I did study some good bit yesterday. Could have studied like an extra 4 more hours, but I don't think it's supposed to be too difficult. But I guess we'll see. Just want to crash out so bad. Post neuromedicine exam. I feel
they violated on that one. Like all of our questions were like it was like barely, the things that we really learned. I feel like there was like us a handful of things that were really like I feel like that all providers should know fairly well and we should be tested on in that sense. Like myasthenia gravis, Guillain-Barré, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and they did test us on that, and I did study on that. But like, I feel like it wasn't emphasized like that in class, though. You know what I mean? Like in class, we were definitely more heavy on seizures. There were like maybe two seizure questions. Same thing with like meningitis. I feel like it was a lot more emphasized in class. And then the bacteria that they did emphasize were not even on it. Like I had a little mnemonic to remember it, like PMH. Past medical history is typically what it is. What PMH stands for. But pneumococcal, meningococcal, and like something hemo influenza or something. To remember. But it was like none of those options. Like none of those were on the thing. Like what is going on? You know what I mean? I don't know. That was a weird exam. That was like one of the few exams that even if you studied 100% for it, you're not gonna get 100. There's no way you can't. And I have a feeling that we're gonna get points back. Like a lot of those questions were like suspicious. Like I don't know, they were kind of hit or miss. What I wanted to say was that they mentioned like tau tangles for like infectious delirium has like three causes. One is like something Jacob, and then on like a lab test you would see like tau tangles or something like that, right? So that's the only thing that I've associated literally Jacob and tau and the infectious delirium. You know what I mean? And then there's two other ones, and that one was irreversible. Middle one was reversible. That was like neurosyphilis. That's reversible. Was like ceftriaxone. You can treat it. Like I know the treatments for like certain ones that are like I feel like would be relevant and like important. And then HIV irreversible. And then they mentioned Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and a couple other like myasthenia gravis and they said which one would you see in a tau tang a neurofibrillary tau tangles I think in a autopsy. And fortunately I did research on during my while building up one of my research papers, which I didn't complete, but during the background information I was looking a lot into Alzheimer's. So that's literally the only way I actually got that one right, because I would have guessed Parkinson's or something else. Like that was kind of messed up. I don't know. And then a lot of our classmates had like tutoring sessions and they share their notes. And Guillain-Barré was not like emphasized, and there was like six questions on Guillain-Barré. I don't know. That was weird. I'm fortunate. I'm happy I passed though, because the crash out is would have been unfathomable. And we have a long day today, so I guess we'll see. I guess we'll wrap it up at the end of the week. I gotta like sleep on this some more. See how that actually went. Talk to my classmates, I guess, because that was kind of messed up. I don't know. I don't know. All right. For the end of week, what is it? 8 or 9? Man, that week was, and I'm saying that because I'm actually like a week ahead. This week was quite insane, just because of the amount of work we had to do. During moments of like really high stress and like all of us are kind of on edge, like including me. Like sometimes like studying at home, like normally if my siblings are a little too loud or if my little cousins come over and it's too loud, it's like it's not a problem for me. But during these times of high stress, like I'm like getting internally ticked off, and I'm being conscious of it and aware of it, of not being like upset or like crashing out on anyone, because I'm just very very stressed, Or, like if my siblings take 2 minutes too long to open a door, like normally I get annoyed regardless, right? But like during these moments, I'm like, oh, I just want to crash out, just blow a top, right? With that in mind, I try to be even more calm, right? Even more conscious of it, just so I don't say anything or do anything that I didn't really mean or wanted to do. So that's been just another underlying hurdle of sorts, and just being conscious of it is very important. And I think PA school does that. It's happened to me a couple times now where it's just high stress, So I just wanna act out and just take out my frustration on something else. You know what I mean? It's just something the need or the want for that, and it can get like that, right? Just barely past that practical. Everything was just timing. It was just so on top of each other and stacked up that it was kind of hard. Got back a lot of points for neuro because the exam was kind of weird. It was kind of not the best wording. Some of the questions were kind of off, and a lot of my classmates said something similar. So we all ended up getting a lot of points back, which is great and nice. And I think I'm in better not better standings, but it's over, so feels so much better. And during the weekend, I did not do any more studying because next up we have another exam as per usual. I didn't study. I just kind of relaxed and took it a little bit slower. Did my one assignment that was due, sure, but been taking it a lot easier. And honestly, I feel much better and ready to really go back into class. Kind of motivated to a degree. Some of these classes I'm slumped. I'm like just too tired. Like it's kind of hard to even stay awake. Hey, it's working out. It's coming together. I think the other thing is about while fasting during this. Fortunately, it hasn't really been bad, and I've been eating less during the evening where when we break our fast, and less during when we begin it, like right before we begin. I haven't been eating a whole lot, and I've felt satiated, not starving, and I have enough energy to go through the day, which is really a blessing in and of itself, which is great. I would have thought that this would have took a very big toll on me, just not eating or drinking water from sunrise to sunset. But it hasn't, so that's I'm pretty grateful for that. And on that note, that should really wrap it up. Week, whatever the hell it was, hectic week, long week. That was kind of tough, but we prevailed. So, into the next. All right.